Why is it that in the most prosperous time, both economically and technologically in all of humanity, so many of us feel more bored, alone, and unhappy than ever, despite being more connected than ever before? Today, I'm going to be diving into the key to happiness that I have found and that has worked miracles for me. Gratitude and mindfulness. For this video, I want you to think of gratitude as the pillar to being content in life. When you come to realize that everything you have is special and might fade away in an instant, you treasure them more instantly. So what I do is that I write 3 to 5 things down every morning that I'm truly grateful for, and this has a huge impact on how I feel. When I imagine myself with my family, with my friends, when I express gratitude for the things that I love, I instantly feel better. Do you know what I mean? So right now, just close your eyes and imagine yourself with your friends and family. Be grateful for them. Think of the house you live in, the bed you sleep on, the clothes you wear, and truly feel a sense of gratitude and thankfulness for the things you have. So if you've done this, I bet you have a smile on your face right now, and you can see how doing this every day will boost your happiness. Now, mindfulness. Gratitude and mindfulness are kind of like cousins, right? Like, you know what I mean? You can somehow relate one to the other and see how they tie in with each other. So mindfulness is the skill of being present and aware in every moment you have on this planet. Simply put, it's being aware and mindful of every moment of every second in your life. So after you've cultivated this skill, which I will show you how to do, you'll be more present in conversation, and you'll be able to have full, deep, meaningful talks with people you truly care about without needing to check your cell phones for YouTube notifications. So to cultivate mindfulness, you want to do the practice of meditation. Now, you've probably heard of meditation before, right? So it's the practice of sitting alone and focusing on something. You can focus on the breath, for example, like right now. Close your eyes and just breathe in and imagine every single molecule of the breath going into your nose and then going back out. So I meditate for 60 to 80 minutes a day, every day, and this has absolutely changed my life. I'm more focused throughout my day-to-day. I'm more mindful of what I do. I don't just suddenly go on TikTok and scroll. I don't actually have TikTok. I don't suddenly just eat junk food without meaning to. Everything I do has a purpose, and I'm mindful of what I do. So to do this, don't overthink it. Go on YouTube or the App Store and search up meditation. So Medito is free, but I use Headspace, which is $15 a month. So just think to yourself that you are going to meditate every single day for the rest of your life. Simple as that. Of course, it's not going to be perfect. You'll inevitably miss a day or two. But just start off with 1 minute and then gradually just go up until you can do 20 minutes a day. And then eventually you might be able to do 2 hours a day. Who knows? You can go so far with this. Now, nature. So when you think of cavemen, how do you think that they lived their lives? Well, they were outside all day, taking in the sun and hunting for food. Were they depressed and sad? No. Did they need Instagram or YouTube to entertain themselves? Of course not, because what they had around them was enough. So you knew for a fact that I was going to speak about nature, just by looking at the thumbnail. So, and that's because you subconsciously know that being outside is good for you. I feel it every day. If I'm inside working a whole afternoon and then I suddenly go outside, I'll just immediately feel better. You know what I mean? Just being outside, having the wind on my face, getting sunlight directly in my eyes is a great experience, and I immediately feel an improvement to my well-being. So for this practice, you want to make a long cardio session in nature a day-to-day habit. So for example, I go on a bike ride every day or on a walk. Now, the goal isn't necessarily to hit that cardio goal. It's more so to be in nature. Look at the trees, look at the leaves on the trees. When you go on a walk, pick out your favorite flower or leaf that you have. This can be cringy, but do you really care? Is your happiness not worth it? Like, do you value other people's opinion more than your happiness? Of course not. So I know you're going to do this practice every day. So just bask in sunlight and enjoy yourself like a true human. Like, have you ever been sad climbing a tree or jumping into a puddle? Of course not, because those are natural activities which cavemen did, and cavemen weren't depressed. Now, dopamine and unplugging. So you probably spend your day and most of your time constantly bombarding your brain with cheap dopamine sources like Instagram, TikTok, Netflix, and video games. So just for this video, and to get a better understanding of why this has such negative effect on you, I want you to think of dopamine as the molecule of pleasure and happiness. Because I don't want to overcomplicate things. You can go watch Andrew Huberman guide on dopamine. He has like two to three videos, which are like an hour and a half long, where he goes into in-depth detail about what dopamine is, how you can improve your dopamine levels, and so on. So, because I said that dopamine is the molecule of pleasure, it is very important that you understand. Your dopamine levels can either be very good for you or very, very bad for you. And this depends on your dopamine baseline. So what do I mean by baseline level? Well, think of how you feel throughout the day. Like, there are some highs and lows, and they are very closely related to dopamine. Like, you don't feel hella happy all the time, and you don't feel hella gloomy all the time. You just kind of feel like this most of the time, right? So when you do something like play video games or eat junk food, you get a dopamine spike, meaning that the amount of dopamine circulating in your body as you're doing the activity that brings you pleasure is way up. So your dopamine goes up when you eat junk food or when you play video games. And this kind of goes the other way around. When you're doing something you dislike, your dopamine may actually drop slightly below your baseline because you don't feel excited or motivated to do the task at hand. Now, throughout your day, the average levels of dopamine circulating in your body is what we call the baseline. Like I said, you're not too excited, but you're not too droopy and sad. What's very important there is that where your baseline is on the dopamine chart is actually influenced by the spikes of dopamine you have throughout your day. For example, you may eat a piece of chocolate and then feel kind of bad afterward, and that's because when your dopamine levels go up, you have a spike, they have to fall back down below your baseline, below what they normally are. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. Because you're constantly bombarding your brain with pleasure in the form of TikTok and junk food, you're always getting really high peaks in dopamine levels. And then that means that the dopamine has to come back down. Now, I don't want you to lose hope. Because there is a way to get your dopamine levels back to normal, and I'm going to tell you how. So, you see, all you have to do is unplug from everything. What you need to do is stop the bad habits that are destroying your dopamine. You need to stop scrolling so much, staying inside all the time, and you have to stop eating shitty foods. The simplest way to boost your dopamine levels is to live like a caveman. You want to go outdoors, touch some grass, hug your family, and eat healthy, nutritious food. Living a life like this will boost your feelings of well-being as you're finally living like a normal human being outdoors in the sun without so much technology around you all the time. So, quick summary, gratitude and mindfulness. Do a gratitude practice every day. Make it a habit, morning and night, 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. Mindfulness, meditate every day for the rest of your life. It can be 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. It does not matter. Make it a habit to meditate consistently. Number 2, nature. Go outside every day on a walk, on a cardio session. Work outside like I'm doing. See, I'm surrounded by nature. And as you're walking, pick out your favorite leaf or flower. So number 3 is unplug. Like I said, go outdoors, climb a tree, stop spending so much time indoors on social media, and stop crashing your dopamine levels because of those bad habits. Cheers, bro.